Hey.
Hey. Hey.
Welcome back to page 3. We're in a new setting. I'm Ellie.
I'm Sydney, and yeah, we're traveling for the holidays, so we're separated, but you can't get rid of us that easy. We're still
No,
here.
we're still here. And it actually kind of is like feels more intimate because it feels like we're on FaceTime right now.
Yeah, maybe you'll get
All right.
a cool side of us. I don't know.
Totally. So today we're gonna talk about New Year's resolutions because tomorrow is the new year and 2026, which is very daunting and just brings up a lot of emotions. So we just want to talk about our beliefs about the new year, our beliefs about New Year's resolution, our feelings towards them, how we're approaching the new year, and everything in between. So let's get into it. Sid, do you want to take it away with how you feel about New Year's resolutions and just like what they are in general?
Yeah, so okay. I'm a big fan and also a really anti and like also really anti New Year's resolutions because I think it's good to set goals and like have thoughts and opinions on what you want to be each year and whatever. But I think the idea of a New Year's resolution is a little restrictive because it basically tells you that you can like set these goals on the first day of the year and then like they're set in stone. Those are them. You made them. And I just feel like some of them are really habitual goals that should not be like a New Year's goal. They're just like a habit that you want. So I think it's kind of weird when people say, like, I want to go to the gym every day in the new year, when in reality, I feel like it might be better to just be like, I really hope I build the habit of being active every day. Like, just things like that, I don't know. I think it's January 1st being the day to set all the goals is like you could do any of these any day if you wanted to.
Yeah, I agree with you. I was talking
Mhm.
to my mom about New Year's resolutions, and she was like, had this video pop up on like Instagram or I don't know, one of her social media platforms. It was like, if you made like a what the fuck is the difference between starting today and starting on January 1st? Like,
Yeah.
what is the difference of it? And I think I've always had like a really like I don't know, I just feel like people have this whole idea of like reinventing yourself or restarting as if like the life that you've lived thus far this whole year isn't good enough.
Mhm.
And I just think it brings up a lot of anxiety. I also think that like December and January are just months of just like change in general because like we're home for the holidays, we're doing all these things, and then you get home and it's like January 1st, okay, like it's time to start. And I just don't always think that they're very healthy or very productive, maybe. I just don't think they're meant
Yeah.
to like serve you in like a great way. And I also think that like giving yourself a year to complete things like I want to lose this amount of weight or I want to do all of these things. I think that in theory it's great, but in practice I feel like I watch a lot of people flounder and really struggle to remain like with a healthy mindset.
Yeah, it's also hard to, like, put a lot of consistency on something that you decided, like, 6 months ago. Like, I feel like we're evolving, like, not every year, but, like, more than that.
Yeah.
Also, another weird thing that and this is niche, and if you're not a college student, then, like, maybe this is less applicable, but a lot of these are, like, telling you, "Okay, starting January 1st, I'm gonna do X, Y, and Z every day and build a routine." But personally, like, I'm home right now, and my routine is not here.
Mhm.
It's not at all. My normal gym isn't here, my normal daily activities aren't here. I don't do anything that I do at school here, like, or if I do it, it's definitely not in my normal system. So starting January 1st doesn't work for me because I won't be back to school till January 20th. And that's when my routine will start again. So,
Yeah,
like, I don't know. I just think, like you said, it's a little unhealthy sometimes. Like, I just think if you only give yourself a year, I do think there's a benefit to setting a goal and being like, I want to read 20 books this year. So more power to you. But I think the ones that are more like mind and body should be more habit goals rather than like numerical or like specific things. Like
tot
instead of saying, I want to lose 50 pounds, like just say, like, I really want to focus on becoming an active person and building the habit of being active. Or like if you want to run more and you're like, oh, I want to run a marathon, like whatever, like I want to start running more. I want to prioritize running as a habit. Like I just think there's a way to format it better.
totally, totally. I think that a lot of people, like, when they're doing New Year's resolutions and stuff, it is very, like, it also feels like a little bit like punishment. Like, I think that's kind
Huh?
of the approach that a lot of people take, and it's like, "Okay, so I didn't do this year. I didn't do that at all this year. Therefore, I'm gonna punish myself, and then the new year, I'm gonna do all of these things." Or also even being able to be like, "Okay, I'm gonna do them in the new year." Like, I'll get to them, like, at a later date. I know I do that where I'm like, I'll write something down, and as soon as I write it down, it feels like I'm doing it. So I'm like, "Okay, I need to clean my room," and I'll write down on my to-do list, like, "Clean my room," and then I'll be like, "Okay, like, I wrote it down, so, like, it's gonna happen," you know?
Yeah.
But I feel like it's less, like, inaction. So I really struggle with New Year's resolutions. I've always struggled with them because I just think they're really, and also they, yeah, they really do feel like a punishment. Like, it's like, "I'm gonna glow up in 2026. I wanna accomplish all these things in 26," but it's like these future-based circumstances. Like, okay, then what? You can only enjoy your life what in 2026 when you accomplish these things? Like,
Yeah, I just feel like they're not reflective enough. Like,
no,
you
and I
just
think that
lived a
there's
whole year.
literally, and, like, you just lived a totally, that's such a good point, like, you just lived an entire year, and, like, instead of being like, "Wow, look at all that I accomplished," it's, like, looking towards, like, all the more things that I need to do, and, like, living in the future of, like, "Okay, and when I do those things, like, when I make this amount of money, when I do these amount of things, then," and it's, like, reminds me of this quote that I love, and it's, like, "If outside validation is your only source of nourishment, then you'll starve for the rest of your life." And I think that can be said in a weird way about New Year's resolutions
Yeah,
because you're constantly starting like, "Okay, I need to hit this goal and then I'll feel great about myself."
yeah.
But, like, what about who you are right now? Like, what does that do for you? And, like, how does that teach you? It teaches you, like, consistently live in the future. I hate that. I really hate that.
Yeah, also, like, on your punishment thing and, like, what you just said about, like, you've lived a whole year and whatever, it's also just interesting to me because it's like, if you are making a resolution, you're like, "Oh, damn, I didn't go to the gym every year even though that was my goal last year." Like, obviously, that wasn't attainable with your lifestyle and your schedule, and it's not like that was the only thing you were doing all year. So instead of being like, "This year I'm gonna actually commit to that," like, why don't you come up with like, reflect about what was attainable
Yeah, I'd be like,
and
"Oh, I totally," and being like, "Oh, I really wish I moved my body more. I wish I honored my body in that way more. How can I do
Yeah.
that better in the new year?" I think that's just such a more sustainable way to approach it. I really like what you just said about, like, reflecting on what you did, and what you said about, like, fitting lifestyles of, like, if it doesn't work for you to go to the gym every single day, that's alright. Like, that's okay. That's if that's not your lifestyle, if you don't wanna do that, like, you're living your life to punish yourself is crazy. It's crazy, and I think a lot of people do that more than they think. I've also seen, like, a lot of people, like, I'll see those, like, Pilates classes online, and it'll be like, "If you're stopping right now, you paid $30 to be here, like, how dare you stop?" Like, and just this, like, give yourself more grace. Like, you are a human being, you're going through so much more than you think. You're experiencing so many things at once. Like, it's alright if your routines and your things shift and you can't, like, meet this high caliber, and I think a lot
Oh,
of what
yeah.
I see online, a lot of what I see on social media is so disheartening and, like, discouraging
Yeah.
if
I
you
also,
can't
like
do it.
I totally, like, think that's such a good point to bring up because I think everybody right now is, like, posting, like, "In the new year, this will be what I do," and, like, la da da da, or posting videos being like, "This is what I did in the last year, like, what did you do?" Or, like, even the Pilates things that come up that's, like I mean, it's all the same, it's all on social media, it's, like, what you're consuming, but I also just wanna make a note, maybe to myself, maybe to you, maybe to everybody else, like, I don't
No.
know if it's weird, but most of the time, these fitness influencers that you're following, or even not fitness, like, just in general, when they are saying, like, "I ate 3 meals a day at home healthy every day this year. I worked out every single day this year." This is not a shade thing, like, that is so amazing, they should be so proud of themselves, but you can't compare yourself to them if you're a student or you work a full-time job or something else
Totally.
because they were not sitting at a desk in a lecture for 6 hours a day, so they couldn't make it to the gym. Like,
Totally.
you
Well,
have
that's
to
also
that's the
their, like,
lifestyle thing.
it's a lifestyle thing, but it's also, like, that's what they're getting paid to do. Like, if you're a
Exactly.
fitness influencer, that is your job, and so you just told the world by being like, "I ate every single meal at home," which just sounds fucking horribly boring. I love going out to dinner and getting all dressed up, or working out every single day. That's great, but your body also needs rest. Like, that's, like, the same mentality, and I think it's good that we're talking about fitness because I think a lot of people's goals for the new year is always fitness related,
Mhm.
and I think that I love another quote that is about, like, you're just like just like nature, you're not gonna bloom in every season. Like, that's there's nothing blooms in every single season. Nothing is just, like, totally consistently putting out things all the time. So I think you're allowed to give yourself, like, rest. Then back to the fitness influencers that, like, this is literally their job. They congratulations, you just earned your paycheck, you did your job. Like, it doesn't compare to the people that are like, you just go and move your body.
Yeah, and also just, like, in general, like, influencers in general, like, if your job is an influencer, like, don't get me wrong, that's so awesome, and, like, I know that it's not the easiest thing in the world, and then it does require a lot of effort, but it's just different lifestyle in the sense that, like, you are not required from 9 to 5 to be in a specific setting, putting out a specific thing, whereas your content fits into your lifestyle, and that's why it does well, and so if you're a student and you're seeing this influencer that's like, "Oh, I did this, whatever," you have to consider the fact of what's attainable for you because it's attainable for them because they are not required to be at a specific thing every day. And like, yeah, they're going to probably make content off of it and probably make money off of it. And that's their job. But I think it's really hard for a lot of people to like have that mentality
Separate.
and understand conceptualize that like
Totally.
this person that I follow and I look up to so much was able to do X, Y, and Z all in one day. I'm the most unproductive person ever. And it's like, no, but you also did 10 things they didn't do because your lifestyles are just different.
Totally. That I completely agree with you because that person, again, that's like their job. What their job is to do is to go out to dinners and live this like lavish lifestyle and like even cleaning influencers, like their job is to influence you to clean. So all they spend their time doing is cleaning because that is their job. That is what they do with their day. And that is not what everybody else does with their day. And that's totally fine. Like that is so beyond okay. I just think it's just and I know that we consume these things and we're so thankful for influencers and all that they give and like they do a lot and it's not any shade to them, but I think it gives an inaccurate description of what a productive life looks like. And I
And
think that
also just like what a good, like, what, like, attainable habits are. Like, an attainable
God,
habit for somebody who's a doctor or somebody who's a full-time student or somebody who's a job, like, is completely different. Like, my attainable habits in comparison to my dad are not the same, and
yeah,
his attainable habits are not the same as my mother's. Like,
right,
you just can't like, even yours and mine are not the same. Like,
completely,
it's unrealistic to assume that they would be, but it's really hard to see that when, like, we consume influencer content, like, actually left, right, and center.
totally.
So how are you supposed to know any different? Like, literally all of the media we get is that.
Engage in is completely and
Yeah.
that's all we see, so we think that that's what we should be achieving, and I think it's actually a great point to move into, like, what are and how we've approached our New Year's resolutions in the past, but
Mhm.
in kind of, like, conjunction with what we were just saying, like, it took me a long time in life, like, um, to really praise and find contentment in the differences that I and the desires that I had versus the desires of all of my peers. So, like, for example, like, for a long time in college, like, probably towards the end, like, I had really had no desire to go out anymore and no desire to drink, like, even now, I have no like, it really I it's not what I would pick to do to spend my time, I really wouldn't. That's not to say that that's not a bad thing if you do those things, but I've really struggled with that for a long time, of, like, the idea of a great night to me sounds like grabbing a book and being in my bed and, like, being in my bubble and, like, putting on a face mask and, like, that sounds like a fantastic night to me. So
And to some people, that would sound so morbidly boring, they, like, could not even conceptualize. So,
totally.
just to prove your point.
Totally, and that's totally fair, and I think it's just in the same way as, like, if you see all these influencers that are putting out, they're gonna do this thing and this thing and this thing, like, think about, like, whether that would serve you or not, like, genuinely, would that serve your lifestyle? Is that something you genuinely want to do, or is that what the world is telling you is acceptable? And I think it took me a long time, even I still struggle with it even now with, like, having the boundaries of being like my friends will text me and they'll be like, "Do you wanna go out? Like, let's go get drinks." I'm like, in the moment, I wanna be included, I wanna be there, I wanna do all of these things, and I'm so excited, and then I'm like, "Wait, no, that's not, like, my idea of fun at all. Like, I don't wanna go get a drink with you. I don't.
Hi, Shiloh.
I don't wanna go get a drink with you, I don't wanna do any of those things, like, I wanna stay home." And that's okay.
Yeah. I was just curious if because I know that some of the resolutions that I'm, like, mental noting to make for myself for the year are in conjunction with the ones that I had this year, so I was just curious if yours are tied or if you had any this year that you'd like to share with the class.
Oh, my New Year's resolutions?
That you had for the previous year slash what you're making for the new year.
Okay, so I don't do New Year's resolutions, I do a word.
Yes, we've discussed this,
Yeah.
yes.
So I do, um I started with my mom. My mom used to, like, every year, she would pick a word that she wanted to work on, something that she wanted to work on, something that she wanted to do. And when I was around, like, I don't know, I think, like, 16, I think I must have been 16 or 17. Again, I was actually at a party. This is very full circle. I was at a party I didn't wanna be at, I hated it, and I just wanted to read my book. I actually think that I snuck away from the party, and I was sitting in a bathroom or a bedroom
Well, you
upstairs.
used to exclusively read on your phone, so this would check out.
Yeah, I would. So I was sitting in a bathroom or like a bedroom in my room, and it was about to be the new year and all of these things. And I remember so vividly just being like, I'm so unhappy. Like, I'm just so unhappy. I'm so depressed. I had a lot going on in my life. Like, I just knew that I didn't, that I wasn't happy. So I made my word for the year happiness. And I was like, that's what I want to work on for the whole year. I just wanted to be happiness. And so then I kept continue that tradition. So I went from happiness to confidence to peace, I think, love. And then it was save. Save was my word. And then centered. And now this year's word, which I'll reveal in a little bit, or I guess I can reveal it now. I'll reveal it after I say that. But so I pick a new word every single year and I give myself the whole year to like work on this and it should be like my mantra, right? Of like, this is what I want to work on. And this is what I think this is what I think I need to move into the new year and do. So my word for 2025 was centered. And I think it actually kind of accomplished that. Like, I think I've gotten a lot better at like breathing and being with myself and sitting with myself and just being here in this space. And yoga's really helped me with that. I do hot yoga. Sid and I both do hot yoga. We love it. I think that's helped me a lot, and the year before was save, and it was actually money, and then like to save money, and then my mom said to me, she was like, "What if you said like, what if you do something like, you just like save yourself from circumstances, save yourself from pain, like save yourself, save other people, like what is that? Like what can that mean in a million different contexts?" And I think I did that.
You also did save money. I'd like to note that that was something you did accomplish, actually.
Did save money. Yeah, so that was that, and then my word this year, so I am, like, a long-term patient of therapy, I guess? I don't know how else to say that, but I've been in therapy for
Long-term goer.
long-term goer, long-term participant of therapy. I've been in therapy for years and years and years, and I'm very committed to my therapy journey. Anybody that knows is like, I go, I'm very serious about it. I'm very religious about it. And I go to EMDR, which is eye movement desensitization and reprocessing, which is like a form of like kind of a way to work through PTSD if you have it, and other types of conditions too, like anxiety, depression, whatever. It's great. Fucking love that shit. So my therapist and I, towards the end of this year, we're working on how I was really bad people pleaser. Like it's just one of the things that it's so embedded in me. And no matter how much work we do, it's really hard to expel these habits from me, like of giving to other people and to exerting myself and to like offering and wearing myself thin. I struggle with it so bad. So this year, around like, I think it was like, what was it, November, Sid? Was it November that I decided my word?
It was when I was with you, so it must have had to be because we talked about it.
We did talk. Okay, yes. So
And it was right before Thanksgiving, because that was the last time I was with you. Yeah.
it was November. Yeah. So it was November and I had decided, I don't even know what happened, but I like literally was just like, I think I want my word to be no
Mhm.
for
'Cause you started with, "I want my word to be boundaries," and then you were like, "No, I want my word to be saying no to things," like setting boundaries.
exactly. And I want my word to be like setting boundaries. And my mom thought that was like, my mom is one of my best friends. And we talked and she was like, I think it's like a little bit, my mom's a very like intentional person. So she's like, that's a little bit negative, Elle. Like, that's a little bit negative. I was like, yeah, but at the same time, like, I need to know how to say no to people. Like, I need to know how to just put my boundaries up. So now it's like no and boundaries, like fluctuating. And I decided it actually like a couple months ago. And I was actually kind of happy that I did because now I'm like getting ready to like start that phase and like expel and like yeah. But
Yeah,
let's
it's on,
hear
like, the top of your head.
yours. Yeah, let's hear yours. And I also want to talk about like the rituals that I do like on New
Yeah.
Year's Eve and stuff to like do the dance.
Prepare. Yeah. Okay, so this year I had a couple. One that I set every single year is my Goodreads, yearly goal, and I set it every year. I just really love the Goodreads. I'm an avid Goodreads user. I write full in-depth reviews if you're curious.
She does, and she gets mad at me when I don't, but I have no interest in it.
Because I always see on my feed that she'll rank something like certain stars, and then I'm like, "But you didn't explain why. How am I supposed to know?"
Yeah.
So, I write religious in-depth reviews, and I'm an avid Goodreads user. And so this year, my goal was 30 books. Last year, I read more than that, but I just was taking more classes and things were more intense this year. I didn't think I was gonna get to it, but I read 35. So,
That's
accomplished
so
that.
exciting. Love.
I don't know if we're counting that as, like, a New Year's resolution, but it was a goal I set for
Totally.
myself in 25.
Totally.
The other one was that I previous to this, like, current year of 2025, obviously, I was, after being, like, an athlete in high school and, like, whatever, working out in college, I, like, exclusively weightlifted, and I really like it, and I'm still really into weightlifting. I think it's, like, such a healthy thing, and it's such a great form of exercise and whatnot, but I started taking hot yoga and hot sculpt with one of my friends at school, and I wanted to be more consistent with it, and I would say I accomplished that because now I'm a sculpt instructor.
Yeah, totally.
So, I've majorly committed to the bit, however, this will tie into my whole, like, I need to reflect thing, because this year I want to find a balance between weightlifting and yoga because I think I'm a very all or nothing kind of girl, so I'm either going every day or not at all kind of thing. And this year I weightlifted maybe once a week, if that, and I literally went to some form of heated yoga, workout, Pilates every single day, which I'm really proud of myself. Like I went a lot and I took a lot of classes and I loved it. And I'm so excited about being an instructor, but I don't want to like give up either of them. And so that's like one of the things I want to work on this year.
I wonder
And
if
then,
your word could be balance. I think that would be good for you. Sid and I both struggle a lot with all or nothing. Like we either talk 125 times a day or we're radio silent. Like we are, and that's, I love that about us, but it also kind of gets us into trouble sometimes, I feel.
yeah, we ask a lot if things are okay.
Today she asked me twice.
You only answered once, so
No, it is okay because the other day I think I asked like 3 times.
yeah.
There was a
But
day
it's
where I like
because
couldn't.
we didn't talk for, like, 4 days, and that's a lot.
It's a lot. And we have like, yeah, we have things that like we're working on in our own friendship and then the things that we want to work on for the podcast too. I think like it's interesting, like you set like a goal for like your books, like, but the idea of like a monetary goal is really hard for me. I don't know why it is, but like there's something about that specifically with books. I think that it's really difficult for me to be like, okay, I'm going to read 30 books. Like the most I've ever read is when I didn't set any precedent at all and I just like let myself go down
Yeah.
in the dungeon of reading and be like absorbed by it.
I think that's why I like the Goodreads one so much because there's, like, other apps, like, I do use Fable sometimes just because I love the, like, format of it, and I think it's really nice, but, I mostly do that because one of my friends uses it, so that's how I see her stuff. But I exclusively pretty much do all of my reviews and stuff on Goodreads, and I like the Goodreads goal format thing
Yeah.
because once you set it, you don't see it.
Yeah.
Like, unless you go and search for it to see how far along you are, like, it's not like when every time you open the app, it's like, "You're this far into your goal for the year."
Okay. Okay.
It's
Yeah.
hidden. And so, once we were getting to the end of the year, like, in I wanna say, like, the beginning of December, I did start looking because I was like, "Huh, I wonder how close I actually ended up." And when I looked, I was, like, already at 32.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, damn, like, go me."
Yeah.
But you don't have to check it if you don't want to, which I guess is also, like, a exercise in self-restraint or whatever.
Yeah.
I personally didn't look at it because once I don't really scroll Goodreads like social media. Like once I've posted my review and seen if there's any updates from like the people I follow on Goodreads, that's it. Like I don't log any like want to read. I have one shelf on Goodreads and it's read and then a shelf that's all of the books that I own that I have yet to read yet. And so I just check off of that list before I'm allowed to buy anything else. That's like has nothing to do with Goodreads and that's a personal thing I'm working on, which is read all the books you have before you buy more.
Like actually.
However, I think if you don't look at it, it's fine, but the Fable one, you can see it on your homepage every single time you open it, so I had to remove mine from that because I hated it. I
Yeah.
did not wanna see it because it made me not wanna read.
Exactly. Well, that's the interesting I used to have an app like that did for fitness. Oh, wait,
My
SoulCycle.
fitness
SoulCycle had wait, was it SoulCycle or was it like it was some app where I don't think it was ClassPass. It was an app of like something maybe it was like Orange Theory or something like that. It would like count my streak. And that made me feel horrific because when I would hop on the app and that, again, like I was in college, so I only went to Orange Theory when I was in state college, which is across the country from me. And I
Yeah,
was,
so then you'd skip for winter break and it would tell you, like
yeah, that you like, I can't remember if I'm pretty sure it was Orange Theory, but it was just, I struggle with it so bad because it was like clocked down back down to 0. And I would be like, that just makes me feel bad,
yeah,
or like,
totally.
I don't know. I just, I have a really weird experience with monetary. I like things that are looser. I think that they give me more permission to grow into them and they don't feel as
You like
restrictive.
fluid things.
I love fluidness. That's why I like a word because a word feels like, okay, like this can be in so many different circumstances, could fit so many different areas of my life. Like I don't like to be bogged down by things, I
Yeah.
suppose.
I think this year, the one that I'm setting for myself last year, I only set those 2, which was, like, I was getting really bored of weightlifting, and I was like I felt so good when I was doing yoga, so I was like, "Okay, I really wanna commit to."
Yoga.
And mostly because when my friends were inviting me to go, I turned them down so many times because I was literally just like, "I can't even touch my toes. Why the fuck would I go to this
Yeah.
class? Like, this seems so dumb." And also, I had seen so much, like, strength growth and, like, personal growth in weightlifting, like, had nothing to do with, like, body or weight, like, simply just, like, felt so strong that I was like, "Why would I stop doing this if it's working?"
Yeah.
Like, don't fix something that ain't broke, you know? So I was like so that's why it was my goal to, like, try other things because I was like, "Oh, maybe I'm just getting really comfortable with this," and that's, like,
Totally.
why I wanted to try something else, whatever. Now I'm
Challenge
an
yourself a
instructor,
little bit.
life is weird,
Yeah.
but this year, the one I'm setting is that so far or this year, I read 35 or something books, so 5 over my goal. So this is what I did last year, is that last year I set my goal to 25 and I read 30, so I made my thing this year 30 or something along those, I
Yeah.
can't remember. So anyway, this year I'm gonna make my goal 35 because I know that it's possible to accomplish that given that I did it this year. And then if I
Exactly.
go over that, like, amazing. And then I wanna balance exercise in a not all or nothing way. Like, I want to weightlift sometimes, walk on the treadmill sometimes, go to yoga sometimes. I have to teach every day or every like, I have to teach one class on a specific day every single week. So that's, like, I think is gonna help with the consistency because 'cause I'm required to be
Totally.
there, like, on a specific day. Other than that, I don't have any, like, physical goals that I'm, like, gonna check off when I meet kind of thing. It's more just, like, I want to be more balanced in a lot of things, like how you said that should be my word. Like, you and me have talked about how we need more balance in the podcast because
Yeah.
sometimes we'll spend 8 hours on the phone and only do this and then not have any okay, we have this little secret thing where we say, "Can you put your work hat on or your friend hat on?" when we're talking. Balance our relationship with this, we'll let you know how long that works for. Um,
Yeah.
but that's our system right now. And so sometimes I'll be like, can you put your CEO hat on for a second?" And then we'll, like, discuss all of work things. And then she'll call me and she'll be like, "Can you put your friend hat on for a sec?" And so that's, like, a really good active balance, like, definitely the effort is there. However, I think that it's probably not entirely normal to only for 3 days straight talk about one or the other,
Totally.
and it would be good if we could have a conversation about, that's just, like, my I don't know. Anyway,
No,
I'm
I love
getting
that. I also think one of ours that for our friendship can be, and I told you this before, I think that Sid and I have a bucket loads of friendship trauma. And
Mhm.
so I think, and Sid does this where she'll apologize, like, if we don't talk, like, she'll be like, if she's, like, snowboarding and, like, she's gone all day, she's like, "I'm so sorry." And I'm like, "Girl, you don't have to apologize, like, it's really okay." Like, and I know I feel the same way, like, I'll do the same thing where I'll be like, "Oh, I'm at work all day," and I'm like, "I'm so sorry I didn't respond." Like, I think we can work on, like, I
Just
don't know what that would
trusting that
even
our
be.
friendship is, like I don't know, I think that's a trust thing, to be honest.
Totally, but I also think it takes the other person, like, feeling secure. Yeah, it would be trust. Yeah. Um I also think, like, even having this conversation is giving me, like, some kind of anxiety of, like, "Oh, do I need to approach the new year and be like, do I need
Right?
to put setting in, like, a book goal? Do I need? Because 'cause I'm, like, a avid reader, so I'm like, if I don't have a book goal, does that make me, like, a bad like, and it's like, okay, then I need to do all of these things, and it's, like, this frantic, stressful energy where I'm like, "Where is this coming from?"
Yeah, no. Not worth
This, like, discomfort in my own life, but I love my life. Like, why? I don't know. The only thing that I would change about my life is that I'm being paid to do this. Like, that's the
Yeah,
only thing I would change about my life. So, and, like, this could, and then I would make more money because that who the fuck doesn't wanna make more money?
exactly. Well, on the topic of things that, um of goals that give us anxiety, should we talk about our other podcast resolution?
Yes, we should talk about our other podcast resolution, but then so that's, like, our friendship one is to, like, work on trust with each other, and it's not that we don't trust each other, but just, like, because our trauma gets like, our trauma's in between us like a wall right now, and so we need to, like in only
Yeah.
one area, I would say.
It's actually funny because before we started this podcast, remember when we were sitting at Ellie's kitchen table and Ellie was like, maybe before the launch date, we should have a duo therapy session.
For sure. For sure. Actually, my therapist is also a couples therapist, so I wonder if I should call her and be like literally. Okay, so let's talk about our New Year's resolution for the podcast. Do we
Yeah, we
have
have
any
one big one.
numerical goals?
We didn't have any numerical ones because last time we talked about it, we didn't want like our success metrics to be like pressure for how well we were doing.
Yeah, that's fair. I kinda like that.
I'm still with that. I don't want to say like I hope we have X followers and then it not happen. And then I'm like, damn, we suck. So like,
Literally.
um, but we do have one big one, and hopefully you've noticed it during
Go for it, girl.
me.
Yeah, you go for it.
Okay, me and Ellie have a pretty bad habit in real life, which has translated into the podcast, where we both think a lot of the same thoughts at the same time, or think that we're going on the same trail as the other person. So if they are talking, we just start talking. And I don't want to say interrupting because that's like it's not like you said something and I don't gaff. Let me talk. It's really just like, oh, we're so on the same wave right now. Let me get in. So you're
I'm
trying.
trying so hard not to interrupt you the entire fucking time. I actually tried really hard at the beginning of the video of really listening, and I was like, wow, you say some really great stuff that I never fucking hear because I'm always fucking talking with you. Like, wow, she's so wise. Who would have known? Not me. Because I don't listen.
So yeah, we're
Yeah,
gonna really work on that and knowing
really
each
work on
other's
that.
cues of like her sentence is done. So if there's any weird gaps where I'm like looking at her and I'm like, can I go yet? No.
But now that we're honoring our New Year's resolution,
That was me being like, was that the cue?
really, really trying to do that and like learn and like also in our life because I think that we get so excited when we're talking to each other. Like Sid and I had this like I don't even have to say anything. Like earlier I was telling her about like something that pissed me the fuck off and she was like so with me in that moment that it's so great. But then it's also like but then at the same time I think we can piss each other off because then we don't get to finish what we were saying because we're like, no, I got you, girl. Like you don't have to say it, but we want to say it, because it's fun to say things,
Yeah.
So yeah,
It's the two people that love to talk the most in the world. And
literally.
we're just really good at finishing each other's sentences to a fault, perhaps.
Faults. And my dad was watching the podcast the other night, like on Christmas Day. We were watching the podcast with my whole family, and my brother was like, "Oh my god, so cool!" And I was like, "Ah, so cute." My dad was like, you guys gotta learn your cues better. You gotta learn that." And I was like, "Yeah, dad." But he was also super supportive. Let me not say that, but it was really funny because I was like, actually, funny you say that because we actually decided that we're gonna do work on that for the new year. So check
That's a
back
goal.
in. It'll be fun for us to look back at this in a year from now. And we'll see where we're coming from. I think I just interrupted you again, so hopefully that doesn't make me wanna fucking slam my head through a wall. Okay, I feel good.
I feel good.
Alright, perfect. See you in the next chapter.
Yeah, see you in the next chapter. I forgot to say, we never said that that's what we decided on our outro. If you've watched any of the other videos, at the end of every one, we say, we don't have an outro yet. See you later because we
And
had
this
it.
one we actually figured it out. It's see you in the
Yeah.
next chapter because we feel like we're writing a book with our viewers. Like, it's like we're writing it together every chapter, like we're discovering something new together.
Hence why every episode is titled chapter something. So
See you in the next chapter. Okay.
okay,
We love you.
we love you.
Bye.
Bye.